In this video, we're going to take a look at creating a bulleted list in Word 2016. And there are some options here in the paragraph group on the Home tab for doing bulleted lists, but we're not even going to look at that for a while yet. It turns out you don't even need that. If you want to do a bulleted list, there's an auto text feature in Word that'll do that for you. If you do an asterisk and then a space, look what happens. It changes the asterisk into this little bullet symbol, the little black disk, and puts a tab in, and it indents by 1/4 of an inch, and then there's another 1/4 of an inch between the bullet symbol and the actual text. And we get this little autocorrect options box that comes up here, and if you don't want it to do that, you actually want an asterisk and a space, you can undo it. You can tell it to stop doing that, and that'll turn the feature off until you turn it on again. And then you can click here and you can go to your options, which we're not going to take a look at. So I want to keep that on. So you type a little bit of junk, whatever is supposed to be your bullet here, and then hit enter, and you type some more stuff, and you hit enter, and you type some more stuff, and you hit enter. It'll keep on doing bullets as long as you keep on hitting enter and typing some text. Now, if you hit enter and then don't type any text, in other words, hit enter twice in a row like I'm going to do right now, then that's how you tell Word that you're not doing bullets anymore and that you want to go back to doing ordinary text. And you see I'm back here at the beginning of the line and no bullets. So I'm basically back to what I had when I started. There are some other keyboard shortcuts here. If you do a hyphen and a space and then type a little bit of junk and whatever you want for your bullet item and enter, and so it'll do that symbol for a bullet. Let me put a little space in between here, like I kind of intended to do up here, but forgot to hit the enter key an extra time. Okay, so now down here, another one is to do a greater than symbol and a space, and then type your bullet information, and we'll just do 3 of those, and then hit enter twice. And so there are at least these 3. These are the only 3 I'm aware of for doing automatic bullets. This is the one I use 99% of the time. Okay, there is also, notice when I select this stuff or actually click in it, that the bullet button up here on the Home tab in the paragraph group gets pushed in, so it turns gray. Let's take these 3 bullets up here, and before we go up here and look at this, if we want to change the indentation level, it's the same way you change anything else. You go up here to the ruler, and if you just want to change the text, want to leave the bullet symbol in the same space, same place, you can just drag it back and forth by clicking on the house. And again, it's very touchy. You have to type or click pretty close to the peak of the house there at the top in order for this to work. If you don't get that, but click on the basement and click and drag, it does what it always does when you click on the basement. It moves both the bullet and the text and maintains that distance between them. So you can easily go in here and change the indentation of either the bullets or the text that follows the bullets. If you don't want any of these 3 bullet symbols, you can go up here and click on the down arrow, and your list here will probably vary because it kind of keeps track of the things that you've done recently. So if you find something here that you like better as a bullet, and it does a live preview for you here so you can see exactly what it's going to look like, you can pick one of these. If not though, I want to show you how you can pick anything you want to. Click on Define New Bullet, and there are some options here for picture and font. We're not going to look at those, but they work similar to the one we are going to look at. Click on Symbol here, and what you'll get is you'll get the dialog box. The dialog box for symbols, and it'll show you some recently used ones that you've used down here, and a list of all of the characters in the symbol font. Now, it comes up with the symbol font because that's where this bullet symbol was taken from. And the symbol font, has a bunch of interesting stuff here, most of which you're probably not going to use very often. So let's go and take a look at some other fonts that we've got. And the ones that we want pretty much all start with the letter W. We have webdings, and these are just some really odd characters that are not letters of the alphabet. So if you find something, let's say maybe you want this to be your bullet symbol, you click on it, and you notice every time I click on a bullet or a symbol up here, I get a character code for it down here. So these are numbered, and if I click on the first one up here at the beginning, they start with 32, and I think they go to 255. Okay, so these are not really very appropriate for doing bullets, I don't think. You might want to do like one of these triangles or something like that. There is a round bullet here and a square one. You could use one of those. But let's take a look at some of the other choices you have too. There's also wingdings, and this is a bunch of symbols as well. So these diamonds or these squares might make good bullet symbols. You might want some of these stars or circles down here. There's quite a few things actually in this font that would make pretty good symbols for bullets. You've got X's and check marks down here, and obviously these can be used for things other than bullets too. If you just want to insert one of those characters into your document, you can just do insert, and we'll probably take a look at that before we finish too. There is wingdings too. And if we look at that, a lot of similar kinds of things. Almost everything in this one could potentially be used as a bullet symbol. Here's one that I've used a few times, the hand pointing at the text. And let's go back to wingdings 3 here. And this one is almost all arrows, it appears. So let's go back to wingdings 2 here. And I'm going to click on the hand pointing to the right, and that is wingdings 2. So every one of these can be identified by specifying the font name and the character code. So this is wingdings 2, character number 69, and I'm going to click on OK, and I'm going to click on OK a second time, and now I've got the hands in there. Now I said if you wanted to insert those symbols, you could. Those would be on the Insert tab here, and way over on the far side we've got symbols. So this is if you want to insert something just in ordinary text, and it's not necessarily a bullet symbol. So there it is. That's not a bullet symbol. That's just text that's inserted in the middle of a document. I'm going to backspace and delete that. So that's how you can get those symbols in just as ordinary text. And the last thing that I want to show you is let's take this stuff here and select it, and let's say that I decide that I want to make that font a different color. Okay, so let's make the font blue. You notice what happens is the bullet symbols turn blue as well, and it turns out that the bullet symbols get their formatting information from the paragraph mark at the end. So if I just drag my mouse over the paragraph mark, and let's pick a different color. Let's make our bullet symbols green. Okay. And now I've got to go in and do that individually here, but that's not real hard to do. And so now I have blue text and green bullets. The paragraph marks don't show up when you print, so let's turn that off and see. So that's what it would look like when it's time to print. So if you ever have some funny formatting in your bullet symbols, just remember they get all their formatting information from that paragraph mark, which you can't see now. Let's turn it back on. That paragraph mark at the end. So format the paragraph mark the way you want the bullets to look, and everything will be fine.